Hey, to my left, which is your right, I have Joey Myers, who played baseball for Fresno State from 2000 to 2003. Let's give a round of applause to Joey Myers. And Joey's been he's been in the corrective fitness for over 10 years now. He is also the founder of the video blog www.hittingperformancelab.com, where Bill Nye, the science guy, meets Babe Ruth. Whoa, this sounds good. We want to know more. Hey, let's give a round of applause to Joey again. Joey, thanks for being on the show here. Great to have you on the show.
Yeah.
So how the heck are you?
I'm pretty good. It's hot. It's getting hot now, and baseball season is in full swing.
Right on. So tell us, you're where Bill Nye, the science guy, meets Babe Ruth?
Yes. So where that comes from is, and we were just talking that, conventional wisdom, what Mark Twain said, he said, if we find ourselves on the same side as the majority, that it's time to pause and reflect. So it was one thing, as I grew up, I had a lot of good coaches, and I had some coaches that I learned what not to do. And a majority of now, about 98% of the hitting philosophy that's being taught is based on generations, what generations have said, so the last 3 decades or so. So nobody's really taken the true science, the physics, the biomechanics, the biology, the chemistry, and what makes our body, how we move under gravity, and all that kind of stuff, and base that off of hitting instead of so-and-so said this, and I learned it from so-and-so, I learned it from so-and-so. Well, we need a better standard.
Yes.
And that's where Bill Nye the Science Guy meets Babe Ruth. Everybody knows Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Say that 3 times real fast.
Yeah. And so we take that concept and we apply proven science to hitting. And it's crazy when we talk to people, you break it down and you start to explain things. They start to bring in what they heard, and now when you start to explain it through the lens of science, they're like, oh my gosh, it's right there. It's easy to see once you start to bring it that way, instead of so-and-so said this and I learned this from so-and-so.
You know, that's similar like training with golf, too. That's exactly what they did with golf, right?
Right, and golf is a little bit farther along. They're more sophisticated with their technology and their training and things like that. And baseball has kind of been in the dinosaur age for the last 3 decades or so.
Dinosaur age, I like that. With that real big club. Oh, come here, woman.
The caveman hitter. But what's great is that the principles that science brings us, the human movement principles, just like if you were to jump out of a plane and you were on Earth, you're going to fall 100% of the time, right?
That's real.
Because of gravity. So that's a principle. It's a human movement law. And so when we start to teach based on these human movement laws, you have a standard. You have a specific standard that you can teach by, instead of, like I said, it's the word of mouth type of teaching. It just falls apart once you start to take it and use the measuring stick of science.
Interesting. So what is your what started you with this?
So in my past, when I was 12 years old, my last year of Little League, I had a phenomenal year. Hit like 880, which is 1,000 is perfect.
Woo! My God, you are like the
man. Got
out
4 times. I struck out 3 times, flied out once, hit probably 13 homers. That was regular season. Then All-Stars hit like 770. Great year.
Wow.
So the next year, so that was the small diamond. So it was, the pitching mound was 45 feet at 60 feet bases, so smaller. And then the next year went to prep Babe Ruth, which the field blew up to what the field is now. So it was 60-foot. Pitching distance, 60 foot 6 inches, and 90 foot bases. So the field got bigger, just like you'd watch a baseball game on TV. That's how big the field got.
Wow.
And I had some trouble. And looking back now, I thought it was mechanics back then. So I started reading books, doing research, and it screwed me up for 4 years. But really, looking back now, if I would have changed one thing, it should have been just timing. My timing was off, because from a 45-foot distance, pitcher's throwing the ball, turned into a 60-foot distance. I was 15 extra feet.
Yes, it is.
So it changed. So my timing was just off. And if I would have just changed my timing, I would have been much better off and wouldn't have fallen for about 4 years, and finally figured I got my feet under me. So it was something that at that time, if I would have looked back, knew what I knew now, like we always talk about.
Yes.
It would have been much nicer. It would have been an easier change to just change my timing than it was mechanics. So that's something that has driven me to help the people that I do online and both locally, is to show them the ropes, show them the way, so that they don't fall into the same bad habits that I did.
So what do you online? What do you teach them? Just
so I have
swing, or?
Yeah. So I have 2 courses that are more do-it-yourself, more of an online video course.
Okay.
So they can purchase that, and they range in price from $17 to $77. The $77 one's like the whole shebang. And then I have an online lesson program that there's a couple tiers there that they can do 2 sessions per month for 90 days, for 3 months, or they can do 4 sessions per month for 90 days. And so I teach online. So I have hitters from Boston, Florida, all over the place.
Wow.
Midwest, and of course in California and some of the Texas states, Arizona, things like that. So I'm able to expand my reach a lot more online, which is nice. Locally, you're confined to a certain area, but
Yes.
online it just blows you up.
The power of social media, though, I bet this is phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And I focus my internet marketing efforts on the top 3 sites. So Google is number 1.
Check. Number 1, Google.
Google. Number 2 is Facebook.
Facebook, number 2.
And then another Google-owned company, YouTube, is number 3.
YouTube, number 3.
Number
Yeah,
3.
those are the top 3 we use a lot here with our social media.
Right. So with Facebook, I started that January of 2013, so about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I've gotten over 5,000 likes in that amount of
Wow.
time. And some of that's paid. I've paid for some of those likes with just pushing blog posts or
Oh,
whatever.
it's about pushing your business.
Pushing your business.
Promoting your business.
And then on YouTube, I'm at about 2,000 subscribers, and those are all organic, so I haven't paid for any of those.
Woo,
So that's
organic.
nice, yeah.
Means that he did it himself here, folks. Didn't pay for it. He did it just by networking.
Great content, and people just share.
That's the way the power of networking goes. That's all
Yep.
about connecting the dots.
Yeah.
See how it works? Hey, there's a theme going on here, huh, folks? It works. Hey, also, too, Joey, I got to share with what you're teaching out there is an out-of-the-box thinker, though. It's not like you were sharing it right before the show. It's like 2%.
2% of the people that teach there's only 2% of the people that teach what we teach. The rest of them, it's 98% or so conventional wisdom. We're lucky if we get about 2% of us. And a lot of the ones that might watch this now, they're going to know who they are, and they're often...
That's you. Look at that camera. That's you.
And most of them get looked at like they have a third eye when they start talking about how to hit using proven movement science.
Yes.
It just looks like they look at you like you're a weirdo. And it was funny, one of my dads, I was telling a story about another dad who asked me, he said, "Aren't you afraid that people are going to steal your information and go run with it?" And some say, "You know what? People don't want my information."
Hello.
They don't
Come
want
on.
it because they don't believe me. They
Yeah.
don't believe me. So that's fine. I'll take it and just keep going and growing our grassroots effort. And we're just going to show people through experimentation using technology
Yes.
to split A/B tests 2 different mechanical things, and we have technology that measures bat speed and hand speed and all these different metrics, and we can show them does squishing the bug work, or does letting that back foot kind of move during the turn? Which one works better? Which one gives you more bat speed? So we can do that with technology now. We can show them.
Oh, that is, and being baseball too, teach them what side to spit on, huh?
Yeah. Which one's more optimal? Which side?
I don't understand that about baseball. That one always made me, what the heck? Why, guys?
Yeah, spanking on the butt and spitting, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I was
Yeah,
just
it
like,
is.
okay, but oh well, that's all it is. What it is. How did we meet? How do we connect the dots?
So Keena Harris is part of our Toastmasters.
Keena Harris, right
Harris.
on. Give it up for Keena.
Keena Harris. So her daughter is part of the Miss Teen USA here, I think, locally.
Yes,
And I don't know
she
if
was
it
on the
her-
show.
She was on the show.
our
She
show.
was her daughter.
Mhm.
And then so that was the connection through us, and that's how we
Nice.
connected.
Oh, this is great. This is good. Wow. So you're local here in Fresno. Now, look at that camera, and I really want you to go out. What type of clients are you looking for? From what ages to all styles to just go
Right.
out there. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, so what we're looking for, and I'm working with ages usually young hitters from 7 years old all the way up to 24, 25 years old. I've had 60-year-old clients that were going to fantasy league camps, the Dodger camps
Okay.
that I've worked with in hitting, but usually the youngest I take is about 7. I've had 6-year-old baseball hitters, but the problem with the younger kids is that they tend to not have the attention span there. It's kind of the attention span of a gnat is what,
Hey,
what
there's
I
some
say.
people like I know that's already like,
That are
older
adults.
than old, as adults. Yeah.
Yeah, so generally I have the bell curve of my clients are ages 10 to 12 or 13 years old, and it depends throughout the season too, where you get more of your high school and college guys about this time because
Okay.
they're getting ready for fall ball that's coming up. They're getting ready to go practice in inter-squad and maybe go report to their first college fall ball. So we start getting up here, but mostly from 7 to about 24 or so years old.
Oh, and right now's the time to start calling you.
Now's the time. Boys, girls, it doesn't matter. The swing is very, very similar. The only difference would be pitch plane stuff between softball and baseball, but we teach the same mechanics as whether if you're a human, you have to abide by the human movement laws.
Exactly. Let's out of the box thinkers, 2% of him. I mean, that's all there is out there that teaches you how to do this here, folks. You want to make sure that you apply, and if you're really serious about your baseball, right now is a way to go out there and apply this knowledge. Great opportunity opens. Those are the ones that want change in their life. They're willing to do something. They go out and do it. Joey did this with me. Joey called me up saying, Albert, I want to be on the show. And I said, right, let's get you on the show. And then, hey, I want to be on other people's show. I said, hey, he's a doer. He's a go-getter. This is a great coach that goes out there, just put a coulda, shoulda, woulda, don't cut it. Just shut up and do it. And this was what this guy did, Joey did. And I could see just by your mentality, your spirit, I can feel that you just want to go out and pay it forward, man, and that's what I feel from you. You guys agree out there? Yes, you do. I feel that. Definitely. Well, Joey, is there anything else that we can share before time's sake?
Well, I appreciate, Albert, the kind words and everything. Yeah, the big thing that you want to look out for is you want to have the right information.
Yes.
You got to be effective first. Once you're effective, it's picking the right things, doing the right things, and then when you've got the right things and you're being efficient with the right thing, so doing things right. And so you want to have the right information. You want to make sure you're doing things that are proven by human movement science. The second thing is having proven coaching cues that are also supported by science, empirical research,
that
coaching
makes
cues.
sense.
So that's, you could have the best information in the world, but if the end user or the hitter, 7-year-old, can't figure out what you're trying to tell him to do or her to do, it's not going to work. So that's the third thing, coaching cues, sticky coaching cues I call them. The last thing is feedback. So having video, we get to see video here, and we use a lot of video analysis when we do what we do. So those things, getting the right information, sticky coaching cues, and the right feedback. So if people want to go to the site, hittingperformancelab.com. When you go there, there's a free video that you can increase your batted ball distance by 48 feet just by doing one simple thing, and that's to Albert's crowd.
Right on. No, that's to our crowd. It's just not my crowd. It's our crowd. It's all about connecting the dots here, folks. Take a look at that. That's on hittingperformancelab.com, where you can see that video, and then go out there and reach for your goal. Go out there and improve yourself. You know you got it in you. What's holding you back? Come on. I dare you. Go look at this. Hey, Joe, we're going to have to wrap it up here, folks. Joey Myers right here. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Albert,
my wife and
me.
I from the Figueroa say thank you for joining us. And we will have you more in our shows. Folks, stay tuned. This is Albert Figueroa. We'll connecting the dots with our swing music in the background. We'll be right back right after these messages.